I am 94 years old. I've buried the woman I love. I've watched my friends disappear one by one. I've even lived long enough to see the men who hated me fade into nothing. And somewhere along the way, without realizing it, I also buried an earlier version of myself, the one who cared deeply about being liked. I'm standing at the edge now, at the quiet border between still here and already gone. I can see how far the fall is, and before I step forward, before silence takes over completely, I want to turn back and speak to you, to the people still dancing under bright lights, still making plans, still promising themselves they'll start soon, because most of you are asleep. You move through your days convinced you're rich in time. You spend hours like loose change. You delay joy as if tomorrow signed a contract promising to show up. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. You don't own tomorrow. You're borrowing it. And one day, without warning, the loan gets called in. We all understand death in theory, but theory is harmless. Theory doesn't change behavior. Feeling does. When you feel how close the end always is, you stop living the way you do. So let me give you something real. Let me tell you about Samuel. It was the early 70s. Samuel and I built our careers side by side. He was disciplined, sharp, always 2 steps ahead of everyone else. Samuel believed in delay. One night, after landing a deal that made headlines, we sat alone in a quiet bar. He raised his glass and said, "Just a few more years. I finish this phase. Then I slow down. Then I travel with my wife. Then I fix my health. Then I enjoy life." He said it with certainty, like life owed him compliance. 4 days later, Samuel collapsed in a parking lot. His heart simply stopped negotiating. He was 44. He never slowed down. He never traveled. He never arrived at the life he kept postponing. Standing at his funeral, I understood something most people never do. The real danger isn't dying. The real danger is never living at all. After Samuel died, I didn't suddenly become wise. That's the lie people tell about age. That time magically turns you into a philosopher. It doesn't. Time only gives you receipts. And back then, I was still busy lying to myself. I told myself Samuel was unlucky. I told myself I was different, healthier, smarter, more in control. That's how the mind protects the illusion. You don't say, "This could happen to me." You say, "This happens to people like him." And so you keep going. You keep pushing joy into the future like a heavy box you swear you'll unpack later. But later is a fantasy. There is no later. There is only now, slowly turning into never. Look closely at how you live. You wake up already tired. You rush through the morning. You trade your best hours for a paycheck that disappears the moment it arrives. You tell yourself it's temporary, that sacrifice now will buy freedom later. Later never shows up. I've watched thousands of people reach the end of their lives. Not one of them asked for more money. Not one of them wished they'd answered more emails. They asked for time. Time they already spent. You treat time like it's renewable. It isn't. Every morning you wake up with less than you had yesterday, and you don't even notice the theft. You scroll. You distract yourself. You numb the quiet voice that keeps whispering, "This isn't it." So let me be cruel for a moment. Your job does not care about you. It cares about output. If you disappear tomorrow, your desk will be cleaned before your family stops crying. I've seen it happen. Over and over again. You think your position defines you, that your title gives you weight. It doesn't. It gives you a leash. I once believed my work would outlive me, that my achievements would echo. Do you know what echoes now? Nothing. The buildings changed owners. The deals dissolved. The awards collected dust. But the dinners I missed, those are permanent. I remember standing in my living room one evening, briefcase still in hand, watching my children play without me. They didn't look up, not because they didn't love me, but because they'd learned not to expect me. That realization hits harder than death, because death is sudden. Regret grows slowly, and it grows quietly. You don't notice it until it's everywhere. At some point, without realizing it, I became a collector. Not of memories, not of moments, of things: bigger house, newer car, better furniture, more space to store objects I barely touched. I told myself it was progress. It wasn't. It was distraction dressed up as success. I remember the day I downsized. Not the day I chose to, the day my body forced me to. The big house echoed. Rooms stayed dark. Closets stayed full. I was surrounded by proof of a life I no longer needed. Here's the truth no one selling you anything will say. Most of what you own will outlive your relevance to it. When you're gone, strangers will decide the value of your prized possessions. They will lift them, weigh them, and assign a number that insults the years you spent earning them. I've watched families argue over furniture, over watches, over jewelry, not because those things mattered, but because grief looks for something solid to grab onto. You work longer hours to afford objects that steal more of your time. Payments chain you to jobs you secretly hate, and you call it stability. It's a beautiful trap, a quiet one. You don't realize you're in prison because the bars are comfortable. I once owned a car I was afraid to scratch. Do you know how insane that sounds? To fear damage on something designed to decay? Time is the only thing that deserves your protection. Everything else is replaceable. I learned that too late. I learned it when I moved into a single room with a bed, a chair, and one photograph. That photograph outvalued everything I'd ever bought, because it held a moment that no longer exists. You think accumulation makes you safe? It doesn't. It makes you heavy. And heavy things sink faster when the end comes. There was a night when I thought I had one. Not suspected. Not hoped. Knew. The room was full. Well-dressed people. Soft lighting. Expensive smiles. My name was announced, and the room responded on command. Applause. It rolled toward me like approval made physical. I stood up, adjusted my jacket, and walked forward as if this moment had been waiting for me my entire life. They handed me a trophy. Heavy, polished, meaningless. I said the right words. They laughed at the right places. They clapped again. For a brief moment, I felt tall, invincible, validated. That feeling lasted exactly as long as the applause. Later that night, I unlocked my front door. The house was dark. No voices, no warmth, just silence, waiting patiently. I placed the trophy on the table and poured myself a drink. I sat there staring at it, expecting something to happen. Nothing did. That's when it hit me. The people who applauded me didn't know me. They didn't love me. They loved what I could produce. Upstairs, asleep, were the only people whose opinions mattered, and I had traded their presence for public approval. That trade never favors you. I missed birthdays, I missed dinners, I missed ordinary nights that never come back, all to chase moments that vanished as soon as the lights turned off. You think success feels like a rival? It doesn't. It feels like standing alone after a party ends, holding something no one cares about anymore. If your life only works when people are watching, it's already broken. You call it a career. That makes it sound noble, permanent, important. It isn't. It's a transaction. You are trading hours of your life for numbers on a screen. Hours you will never recover. Hours that could have been memories. You tell yourself it's worth it, that one day you'll stop. But stopping is a skill you never practice. So when the time comes, you don't know how. I've watched men retire and collapse within a year, not because they were sick, but because they had nothing left to be. Their identity had been rented out for decades, and when the contract ended, there was nothing underneath. If you disappear tomorrow, your position will be advertised before your funeral. That sounds cruel. It isn't. It's honest. The system doesn't mourn you, it replaces you. You were never irreplaceable there. You were useful. And usefulness expires. Do not build your altar where love cannot kneel. Your job will not sit beside your bed at night. It will not forgive you. It will not remember your name once you stop producing. People will, if you give them something to remember. When everything else fell away, when the noise finally shut up, I was left with something simple. Not money, not titles, not objects, moments. That's all that survives. I don't replay negotiations in my mind. I don't relive meetings or victories. I replay mornings. Sunlight through a kitchen window. A laugh from another room. A hand resting on mine without saying anything. Those are the scenes that return. Everything else dissolves. The strange thing about love is this. It only grows when you give it away. Hoard it, and it dies. Delay it, and it disappears. I remember a Sunday morning when nothing happened. No plans, no urgency, just time. I didn't know then that it was wealth. I thought wealth was loud. It isn't. It's quiet enough to be missed. At the end, you don't wish you'd protected yourself more. You wish you'd been braver with your heart. You wish you'd said the words sooner, held the hug longer, shown up when it was inconvenient. Those are the debts you feel, not the unpaid ones. So listen carefully now, not as entertainment, not as motivation, as instruction. I don't have theories anymore. I have conclusions. Number 1, dismantle your ego. It is not protecting you. It is imprisoning you. You hesitate because you're afraid of looking foolish. You delay because you're afraid of being judged. Let me tell you something freeing. No one is watching you. They are too busy monitoring their own insecurities. You exist vividly only inside your own head. To everyone else, you are a passing figure. So stop asking for permission to live. Ask the question. Start the thing. Speak the truth. The opinions you fear will die with the people holding them. Number 2, live with endings in mind. This is not morbid. It is powerful. Every experience has a final time. You just don't know when it is. One day you will laugh with a friend for the last time. One day you will hear a familiar voice and never hear it again. If you remembered that, you would be gentler, more present. You would stop rushing moments that are already running away. Scarcity creates value, and time is the scarcest thing you have. I am 94. My body reminds me of that every morning. My joints argue with me. My eyes don't negotiate with darkness anymore. I move slower because I have to. You don't, and that is your unfair advantage. You wake up with strength and waste it. You have energy and dull it. You have freedom and trade it for distraction. You scroll through other people's lives instead of living your own. You numb yourself because silence makes you uncomfortable. Silence is where truth lives. Go outside, feel the air on your skin, look up without purpose, call the people you keep postponing, forgive faster. Not because they deserve it, but because carrying bitterness is expensive, and you don't have the time budget for it. Most people never actually live. They stay cautious, they stay safe, they stay busy, and then one day, they're done. No warning, no summary, just an ending. Don't let yours be empty. Don't wait. That's the message people never hear until it's too late. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for certainty. Don't wait for the perfect version of yourself to arrive. There is no perfect moment coming to rescue you. There is only this one. Eat the good food while your body can enjoy it. Take the trip while your legs still trust you. Say the words now, while the person can still hear them. Say, I'm sorry, Say I forgive you. Say I love you first. The clock does not slow down out of respect. I watched too many people build 5-year plans they never reached. They lived like life was a rehearsal. It isn't. This is the performance. And the curtain falls without warning. I am tired now. Not sad, not afraid, just finished. I have no more arguments with time, no more negotiations. I gave you what I have left, clarity. What you do with it is up to you, but remember this: when comfort tries to lull you back to sleep, existing is easy. Living costs courage. Go live before silence answers for you.